Every morning, the world waits beyond your window, vast, unpredictable, full of unseen opportunities and silent challenges. The air is cool with possibility, the light still soft, as if the day itself is whispering for you to claim it before it's written by anyone else. You stand at the threshold, your first breath heavy with choice. Will you drift into the day on autopilot, or will you step into it as the author of your own story? In these first fragile moments, your mind is like fertile soil. Whatever seeds you plant, whether doubt or determination, fear or faith, will grow into the harvest you carry into your hours. Most people rush past this sacred space, letting their phones, their worries, or the voices of yesterday set the tone. But you, today, can choose differently. You can choose to speak life into yourself before the world has a chance to speak over you. Words that remind you of your worth, your resilience, and the deep well of potential that lives inside you. These aren't empty slogans or shallow cliches. They are affirmations, grounded in truth, that rewire your thinking and strengthen your spirit. Like armor for the mind, they prepare you for the battles you cannot yet see, for the decisions you will have to make when distractions and doubts come knocking. This is more than motivation. It is mental training. The way an athlete stretches before the race, the way a warrior sharpens a blade before battle, this is how you ready your soul for the day ahead. The tone you set now will echo through your choices, shaping the way you see obstacles, the way you respond to setbacks, the way you celebrate victories. And so, before the noise begins, before the demands of the day arrive, you speak to yourself, not just to remind yourself of who you are, but to declare who you are becoming. In this stillness, your voice becomes the compass, your words become the map, and with each one, you step more firmly into the life you are meant to live. There are mornings when the weight of yesterday still clings to you like a heavy coat. Every mistake, every regret, every what if stitched into the fabric. You wake up, and before your feet touch the ground, your mind tries to remind you of who you were, not who you are becoming. The past has a way of echoing loudly in the quiet hours, replaying moments you wish you could erase, whispering doubts you thought you had silenced. But here's the truth. Your past is a chapter, not the title of your story. You are not defined by the broken pieces you once carried. You are defined by the way you have learned to stand, even when the ground felt unstable. Each sunrise that warms your skin is proof that life itself believes in your potential more than it believes in your history. That alone is grace. Imagine carrying a suitcase everywhere you go, filled with every hurt, every failure, every bad decision you've ever made. Your back aches, your pace slows, and every step feels heavier than the last. Yet, in reality, no one is asking you to carry it anymore. You are free to set it down. You are free to walk forward unburdened. That is the decision you make today. Some will still try to define you by your past, to hold your mistakes up like mirrors. But those mirrors are cracked, and you have no obligation to see yourself through their distortion. The version of you that made those choices no longer exists. They were a necessary step toward the person you are now. What you once called failure, you now recognize as foundation. What you once thought was the end was actually a doorway into a new becoming. Reinvention has no expiration date. You are under no contract to remain the person you were a year ago, a month ago, or even yesterday. Growth is your birthright. Evolution is your power. Your past was the soil, not the ceiling. It nourished you, taught you, shaped you, but it cannot contain you. Picture yourself looking into a mirror today, not searching for the old scars, not tracing the lines of who you used to be, but seeing instead the seed of infinite potential. It waits for belief, for action, for faith. And every time you choose to speak life over yourself, every time you remind yourself that you are not your past, you water that seed. The most powerful people in history have walked through valleys of brokenness. They were buried in doubt, rejection, and failure, yet they rose. They transformed pain into purpose, turning wounds into wisdom. They did not hide from what happened. They used it. They allowed the fire of their trials to forge something stronger in their spirit. You have the same choice. Your past can be the anchor that keeps you stuck or the wind that propels you forward. You decide. When you stop rehearsing regrets and start practicing your rebirth, you stop shrinking to fit who you were and start expanding into who you are meant to be. There will always be voices, internal and external, that try to remind you of your lowest moments. Let them talk. That is their limitation, not yours. Your responsibility is not to carry their perception of you. Your responsibility is to walk in your purpose. So, today, take a deep breath and let the truth settle in your bones. You are not your history. You are your possibility. The fact that you are here, alive, breathing, means your story is still unfolding. The pen is in your hand. The page is blank. The only question that remains is, what will you write next? Perfection is a mirage. The closer you think you're getting, the more it moves away from you. Always one more adjustment, one more flaw to fix, one more reason to wait before you begin. It whispers in your ear that you're not ready, not qualified, not enough, yet. And so you hesitate, you hold your breath, you stall your own life, waiting for a moment that will never arrive. But today is different. Today, I refuse to wait for flawless. Today, I choose forward motion over flawless execution. Because life rewards the one who dares to start, not the one who endlessly prepares. I would rather stumble toward my dreams than stand still polishing the edges of a plan I'm too afraid to act on. Progress is messy. It's uneven steps, awkward first attempts, and lessons you didn't know you needed. It's saying the wrong thing, making the wrong move, failing faster than you expected, and realizing you're still standing. It's building muscle by lifting weight that once felt impossible. It's the shaky first mile that still counts toward the marathon. The truth is, perfection has never built anything. It has never written a book, launched a business, or run a race. It is the disguise of procrastination, the polished mask that fear wears to keep you safe but small. Progress, on the other hand, is raw, imperfect, and unapologetic. It's the proof you're alive and moving. Today, I will let go of the obsession to get it right and embrace the decision to get it done. My worth is not measured by flawless performance, but by the courage to keep showing up. Each step forward is a victory. Each attempt, no matter how clumsy, is an act of defiance against the voice that tells me to wait. I will not wait until I am fearless to begin. I will not wait until every detail is perfect to take action. I will begin now, with trembling hands if I must, and trust that the path will rise to meet my feet. Because here's what I know. The person who makes 100 imperfect steps will always be further along than the one who spends a lifetime waiting for the perfect first step. Progress compounds, it stacks, it builds momentum, and momentum is what carries you past fear, past doubt, past hesitation. So today, I will celebrate the small wins. I will applaud the fact that I tried, that I moved, that I didn't let perfection keep me frozen. I will count the pages written, the minutes spent practicing, the effort invested, not just the flawless outcomes. And if I fall short, if I make mistakes, I will learn, I will adapt, I will grow. The only true failure is to stop. As long as I keep moving, I cannot lose. This is my vow. I will be a builder, not a polisher of dreams. I will choose progress over perfection. I will trade the illusion of flawlessness for the reality of momentum. I will show up imperfectly, consistently, and unapologetically, because the world needs what I have, even if it's not perfect yet. There comes a point in life when you realize that your energy is your most precious currency. It fuels your dreams, shapes your thoughts, and colors every interaction. But it is also finite. You cannot pour endlessly from an empty cup and expect to thrive. I have learned, sometimes the hard way, that not everyone deserves access to my energy. Some people will drain it without giving anything back. Some environments will suffocate it. Some habits will quietly steal it until I am running on fumes. Today, I draw a sacred boundary around my energy. I treat it like a flame. Beautiful, powerful, but fragile if not cared for. I will guard it from the winds that try to snuff it out and feed it with the fuel that keeps it burning bright. I will not apologize for stepping back from people who exhaust me, conversations that deplete me, or commitments that serve only to drain my spirit. Protecting my energy is not selfish. It is survival. It is self-respect. It is the foundation upon which my purpose is built. Because when my energy is strong, my vision is clear. My creativity flows. My joy expands. I show up fully for the people and projects that truly matter. But when it is scattered and stolen, I am a shadow of myself, trying to give what I no longer have. I choose to become intentional with where I place my attention. Not every battle is mine to fight. Not every opinion requires my response. Not every invitation deserves my yes. My time and energy are finite, and I will spend them like the treasures they are. Today, I replace overcommitment with discernment. I replace people-pleasing with self-preservation. I replace the need to be everywhere with the wisdom to be where I am most needed and where I am most alive. I will feed my energy with what nourishes me. Quiet mornings, deep breaths, meaningful conversations, creative work, movement that feels like joy. I will give my energy to people who uplift me, who see me, who celebrate me. Not just when I am strong, but when I am vulnerable. This is not about shutting the world out. It is about opening my world to the right things, the right people, the right dreams. My energy is the current that carries me toward my destiny, and I will not let it be diverted by distractions or drained by doubt. So if I say no, it is not rejection, it is protection. If I walk away, it is not weakness, it is wisdom. If I rest, it is not laziness, it is strategy. From this day forward, I am the guardian of my own light. I will tend to it, nurture it, and shield it from harm, and in doing so I will shine brighter, love deeper, and live truer. Because my energy is sacred, and I protect it fiercely. There was a time I thought I had to search the world to find the missing pieces of myself. I believed that happiness was hidden in the next achievement, the next relationship, the next opportunity. I told myself that when I had more, I would finally be enough. But life has a way of teaching you that the treasure you're chasing has been inside you all along. No medal, no title, no validation can give you what you already carry in your soul. Everything I need to live fully, to stand tall, to love deeply, it's already here, within me. My courage is not borrowed, it's my own. My worth is not assigned, it's inherent. My strength is not gifted by others. It was forged in the quiet battles no one saw. The world will try to convince you otherwise. It will sell you the lie that you are incomplete until you have more. Do more, become more. But I am done living as if I am missing something. I am not a puzzle waiting for the final piece. I am already whole. When I stop searching outside for what's already inside, I see myself clearly. I see the resilience that kept me standing when the storm tried to take me down. I see the compassion that flowed from me, even when my own heart was breaking. I see the determination that pushed me forward when quitting felt easier. I am not lacking. I am layered. I am a collection of every lesson, every scar, every joy that has shaped me. Today, I stop asking the world to give me permission to be enough. I already am. I always have been. This doesn't mean I won't grow or improve. It means my growth is built on a foundation of wholeness, not on a fear of lack. It means I can pursue dreams not to fill a void, but to expand the light I already have. When you believe everything you need is within you, the world stops being a scavenger hunt and becomes a canvas. You stop grasping and start creating. You stop doubting and start moving. And in the moments when I feel small, I will remind myself, my heart holds more love than I've given it credit for. My mind holds more ideas than I've dared to speak. My soul holds more strength than I've ever been forced to use. I am not waiting to be ready. I am ready now. I am not chasing completion. I am living from it. From this day forward, I walk as someone who knows they carry their own supply of courage, love, wisdom, and strength. The world may add to my joy, but it cannot complete me, because I was never incomplete to begin with. Everything I need is already within me. There's a calm power that comes from knowing exactly where you're going. It's not loud or frantic. It's steady, deliberate, unshakable. I haven't always moved like this. There were times I rushed through life, scattering my energy in a dozen directions, saying yes to everything and finishing almost nothing. I mistook being busy for being purposeful, and I wore my exhaustion like a badge of honor. But somewhere along the way, I learned that focus is not about doing more. It's about doing what matters most. Purpose is not about speed, it's about direction. And grounding is not about being stuck. It's about being rooted so you can grow. Now, when I wake up in the morning, I take a moment to breathe and align. I think about what truly matters today, not just what screams the loudest. I ask myself, does this move me closer to who I want to be? Does this honor my values? Does this make my life or someone else's better? The answer to those questions determines my steps. I don't waste time chasing every opportunity that passes my way. Not every path is meant for me, and that's okay. Saying no to the wrong things is saying yes to the right ones. Being grounded means I don't get knocked off course by every gust of doubt or wave of distraction. My roots go deep, into my principles, my purpose, my why. When the winds of change blow, I bend, but I don't break. And when I move with intention. Every step counts, because I've chosen it. I'm not running in circles, I'm walking my path. I'm not drifting, I'm steering. I'm not reacting, I'm creating. There's a quiet confidence in knowing I'm exactly where I need to be, even if I'm still becoming who I'm meant to be. Progress is my measure, not perfection. Consistency is my weapon, not urgency. I am focused. I am grounded. I am moving with purpose. And that combination is unstoppable. The world may try to pull my attention in 100 directions, but I know how to return to center. I know how to find my stillness, plant my feet, and move forward anyway. Because I am not here to wander endlessly. I am here to live intentionally. And every day that I honor that truth, I get closer to the life I am building, not by chance, but by choice. Fear has many faces. Sometimes it's loud, shouting in my ear that I'm not ready, that I'll fail, that I'm not enough. Other times it's quiet, whispering doubts in the dark corners of my mind, planting seeds of hesitation before I even take the first step. I used to believe fear was a sign to stop, a warning that meant I wasn't capable. But I've learned something far more powerful. Fear is not a stop sign. It's a signal that I'm moving toward something that matters. The fire inside me burns brighter than the fear around me. It's not the kind of fire that destroys. It's the kind that forges. It shapes me, strengthens me, pushes me to grow into the person I'm meant to be. There were moments when fear tried to chain me down. Before a big decision, before speaking my truth, before stepping into the unknown. My hands would shake, my breath would quicken, and my mind would scramble for safety. But I moved anyway. I stepped forward, not because I was fearless, but because my purpose was louder than my panic. And every time I moved through fear, I found that it lost a little of its power. I realized fear was just smoke. It looked solid until I walked right through it. On the other side, I always discovered strength I didn't know I had. The fire inside me is made of every dream I refuse to let die, every value I stand for, every truth I will not bury. It's made of the battles I've fought quietly, the times I've picked myself up when no one was watching, the moments I've chosen to try again even after falling. Fear still visits me. It always will. But now I treat it as a guest, not a master. I let it speak, but I don't let it steer. I hear its warnings, but I answer with action. Because the truth is, my fear and my fire can exist in the same space, but only one will decide my direction. And I have already chosen. No fear can stop me, because I have work to do, people to love, and a life to live with my whole heart. No fear can stop me, because the fire inside me was not lit by chance. It was lit for a reason. And that reason is worth every step, every risk, every leap into the unknown. There was a time I thought my worth was measured by how little space I took up, how quietly I could move through the world without disturbing anyone. I learned to shrink my opinions, soften my voice, and fold myself small so others could feel comfortable. I became an expert in apologizing for things that didn't need apologies. My laughter, my ideas, my presence. I believed that if I stayed agreeable, if I stayed small, I would be loved. But the truth is, shrinking didn't earn me love. It earned me invisibility. And invisibility is a heavy, lonely thing to carry. Somewhere along the way, I began to realize that the very things I was hiding were the things that made me, me. My thoughts, my passions, my voice, these were not inconveniences, they were gifts. And gifts are meant to be shared. The world does not need me to be less of myself. The world needs me to be fully myself. Because when I speak my truth, I give others permission to speak theirs. When I stand in my space without apology, I make room for others to stand in theirs. So I began to practice. At first, my voice shook, my words stumbled. I second-guessed myself after every conversation. But still, I spoke, and something happened. My voice grew steadier. My spine straightened. My eyes began to meet others without dropping away. I began to feel the quiet power of simply existing without shrinking. Now, I understand that taking up space is not about overpowering others. It's about existing authentically, unapologetically. Speaking my truth is not about being right. It's about being real. I am allowed to take up space in a room, in a conversation, in this world. I am allowed to have needs, to have boundaries, to have a voice that carries. I am not here to fit into the mold someone else designed. I am here to live in the shape that was always mine. And if my truth makes someone uncomfortable, that's okay. Discomfort is the birthplace of growth. I will not dim my light to soothe someone else's shadows. I will speak with clarity. I will stand with courage. I will live with authenticity. Because I am allowed to take up space, and I am allowed to speak my truth. Comfort has a soft voice. It tells me to stay where it's warm, where nothing changes, where I know the ending before the story even begins. It wraps around me like a blanket on a cold morning, whispering, "Just stay." It's easier here, and for a long time I listened. I stayed in safe rooms, made safe choices, spoke safe words. I called it peace, but really it was fear in disguise, because comfort is not the same as fulfillment. Comfort keeps me from pain, yes, but it also keeps me from growth, from purpose, from the kind of life that wakes my soul. Courage has a different voice. It's not loud or boastful, it's steady. Courage says, "I know you're afraid, but come anyway." Courage leads me into rooms where I don't know the ending. It asks me to take the leap without seeing the net. It trusts the net will appear, or that I will learn to fly before I hit the ground. Every meaningful thing I've done has required courage. The first time I spoke my truth, the first time I walked away from something that was killing my spirit, the first time I said yes to something that terrified me. Courage is not the absence of fear. It's choosing to move forward while fear rides in the passenger seat. Today, I choose courage over comfort. That means I will say the thing I've been holding back. I will take the step I've been avoiding. I will put myself where growth can find me. I will not wait until I'm ready, because ready is a myth. Courage doesn't wait for perfect timing. It makes timing irrelevant. And yes, courage is uncomfortable. My palms sweat. My stomach knots. My mind screams for safety. But I know that everything worth doing in my life has lived on the other side of that discomfort. I've learned that comfort gives me rest, but courage gives me life. So today, I will lead with courage, not comfort. Because comfort might keep me safe, but courage will set me free. For a long time, I thought worthiness was something I had to earn, like a prize handed only to those who worked hard enough, proved themselves enough, became flawless enough. I wore my accomplishments like armor, hoping they would shield me from doubt. But no matter how much I achieved, there was always a voice whispering, "Not enough. Not yet." That voice was wrong. Worthiness is not a medal. It's not something locked away behind conditions and checklists. Worthiness is the truth I was born with, the air I've been breathing since my first breath. I am worthy of love, not because I am perfect, but because I am human. My flaws do not cancel out my beauty. My mistakes do not erase my value. I am allowed to be both a masterpiece and a work in progress at the same time. I am worthy of success, not because I never fail, but because I dare. I take steps forward even when my knees shake. I show up for my dreams even when doubt tries to push me back. Success is not about never falling. It's about rising again and again, and I have proven that I will rise. I am worthy of peace, not because life is free from storms, but because I have the right to anchor myself in the calm within. Peace is not the absence of noise. It's the choice to keep my center when the world tries to pull me off balance. Today, I release the idea that I must hustle for my worth. I let go of the exhausting chase for approval. I am not here to convince anyone of my value. I am here to live it. Love is my birthright. Success is my birthright. Peace is my birthright. And every time I forget, I will remind myself, worth is not given, it is remembered. For years, I carried my mistakes like heavy stones in my pockets. Every step I took was weighed down by what I could have done differently, what I should have said, the moments I wished I could rewrite. I replayed old conversations in my mind, searching for ways I could have been wiser, braver, kinder. But the past is not clay. I cannot shape it now. It is a sculpture already set, and staring at it will not change its form. Still, I held on. I told myself I needed to remember my failures so I would never repeat them. But in truth, I was punishing myself over and over for the same wounds. One day, I realized that forgiveness was not saying it didn't matter. Forgiveness was saying it mattered. But I matter more. I can acknowledge the hurt I caused, the choices I regret, and still choose to release their grip on me. Not to erase them, but to free myself from the chains they forged. I am not the person I was when I made those mistakes. I have learned. I have grown. I have become someone my past self wouldn't even recognize. Forgiving myself is not weakness. It is courage. It takes strength to let go of the comfort of guilt, because guilt convinces me I am doing something noble by holding on. But guilt is a false anchor. It doesn't keep me steady. It keeps me stuck. Today, I forgive myself. I choose to grow forward, not just move forward. Growth means I take the lessons, plant them like seeds, and let them become something beautiful. The scars remain, but they no longer burn. They are reminders, not chains. I release the heavy stones from my pockets. I walk lighter now. And with each step, I remind myself that my future deserves more of my attention than my past ever will. People talk about motivation as if it's the magic key, as if every great dream is powered by a constant rush of excitement. But I've learned that motivation is fleeting. It comes and goes like the tide. Discipline is what carries me when motivation disappears. Discipline is my quiet commitment, the steady heartbeat behind every step I take toward my destiny. It's the choice to rise early when my bed feels warm. It's the decision to work when my mind wants to wander. It's the refusal to break promises I've made to myself. Destiny isn't built in a single leap. It's built in the small, repeated actions that no one applauds, but that shape who I become. It's in the daily grind, the unseen hours, the moments I could quit, but don't. Some days, discipline feels easy, like I'm in flow, my energy aligned with my actions. Other days, it feels like I'm pushing a boulder uphill, every step a test of my will. But I keep going because I know my destiny doesn't wait for me to feel like it. It responds to what I do consistently over time. I've learned to treat discipline not as a punishment but as devotion. Every time I choose discipline, I'm telling my future self, I care about you. I'm building something for you. That makes the hard days worth it. Devotion isn't glamorous. It's not the highlight reel. It's the raw footage. The sweat, the repetition, the deliberate choice to keep going when no one's watching. There's power in knowing that I don't need to win the whole war today. I just need to win this hour, then the next. And when I look back months from now, I'll see how those hours became bricks, and those bricks became walls, and those walls became the home of my destiny. So today I show up, I keep my word to myself, I honor my craft, my health, my vision. Discipline is my daily devotion, and my destiny is worth every act of it. For a long time, I thought opportunity was about luck, being in the right place at the right time. I would look at others' success and think, they were just lucky. They had connections. They got a break. But over the years, I've learned something that changed my life. Opportunity is not random, it's magnetic. It is drawn to clarity, to purpose, to action. When I am clear about my mission, I start seeing doors where before there were only walls. I start recognizing the people who share my values, the paths that align with my vision, and the moments that could change everything. It's not that the world suddenly changes. It's that I do. My focus sharpens, my energy becomes deliberate. And because I am no longer scattering my attention on distractions, I notice what truly belongs to me. Opportunities don't just show up. They respond to who I am becoming. They mirror the energy I give. When I carry doubt, I attract confusion. When I carry fear, I attract hesitation. But when I carry conviction, I attract momentum. This is why I protect my mission. I guard it from noise, from negativity, from anything that pulls me away from what I know I am here to do. I don't need every opportunity. I only need the right ones, the ones that feel like a deep yes in my soul. And I trust that when I keep showing up, they will find me. Sometimes, an aligned opportunity looks like hard work. Sometimes it feels uncomfortable. But I've learned that alignment doesn't always mean ease. It means purpose. And purpose is worth the effort. Today, I move with the confidence that I am not chasing what is meant for me. It is on its way to me. My mission acts like a beacon, and the right opportunities are already traveling toward its light. There was a time when my mind was my greatest enemy. It overthought, doubted, and replayed every mistake until I was too exhausted to move forward. My thoughts were like a storm I couldn't escape. But storms can be tamed, and I've learned to turn my mind from a battlefield into a sanctuary. Now, my mind is strong. It's not because challenges have disappeared, but because I've trained myself to face them with clarity, courage, and focus. A strong mind is not unshakable because it never feels fear. It's unshakable because it knows fear is temporary. I've built this strength through small, deliberate choices, reading words that challenge me, asking questions that expand me, and refusing to let negativity rent space in my head. But strength of mind is only one part of the equation. My heart is open. I used to believe that to protect myself, I had to close my heart. That if I let people in, I would be hurt. And yes, sometimes I was. But I realized that closing my heart also closed me off from love, from joy, from connection. Now, I live with an open heart. Not naive, but willing. I let people see me. I let myself care deeply, even when there's risk. I give without keeping score, and I receive without guilt. An open heart doesn't mean everything is easy. It means everything is richer. Even pain has depth and joy has texture. And then there's my soul, the part of me that feels eternal. My soul is alive. It's awake to the beauty around me, the synchronicities that whisper I'm on the right path. My soul dances when I'm aligned with my purpose. It hums when I watch the sunrise, when I hear music that moves me, when I help someone without expecting anything in return. This is my wholeness, a strong mind to guide me, an open heart to connect me, and an alive soul to inspire me. When all three are in harmony, I feel unstoppable, not because life is perfect, but because I am fully alive in it. For most of my life, I thought becoming who I was meant to be would happen someday, when the timing was right, when I had more experience, when I felt ready. I imagined there would be a perfect moment, a clear sign, a sudden shift. But I've learned that someday is a lie we tell ourselves to avoid the discomfort of beginning now. There is no perfect moment. There is only this moment. And the truth is, I am becoming already. Every choice I make, every small act of courage, every time I rise after falling, these are the bricks building the version of me I was created to be. I don't need permission. I don't need every answer. I just need to move. Becoming isn't a destination. It's a daily decision. It's in how I speak to myself when no one is listening. It's in how I treat others when I think no one is watching. It's in whether I keep going when no one is clapping. There is a version of me that is stronger, wiser, more compassionate, and more aligned than I am today. And that version is not waiting in the future. It's growing inside me now. I feel it when I choose discipline over distraction. I feel it when I listen instead of react. I feel it when I push through fear instead of waiting for it to disappear. And the more I act from that place, the more I become it. I've stopped looking for transformation as a lightning strike. Instead, I see it as sunrise, slow, steady, inevitable. And just like the sun, I rise every day. Starting now, I refuse to delay my own becoming. I refuse to let fear, doubt, or comfort keep me from the life I am meant to live. I am becoming, right here, right now. Every word I have spoken, every thought I have shared has been a thread in a larger tapestry, a tapestry of becoming. These affirmations are not just phrases to repeat, they are a way of life. They are reminders that the past does not define us, that progress is more powerful than perfection, that our energy is worth protecting, and that everything we need already exists within us. They remind us that focus can move mountains, that courage can ignite fires, and that truth deserves space. They remind us that love, success, and peace are not earned through worthiness. They are our birthright. Through forgiveness, we create room for growth. Through discipline, we build the bridge to our destiny. Through alignment, we attract the opportunities that match our mission. And through the harmony of mind, heart, and soul, we awaken to the fullness of life. We do not need to wait for some distant future to begin. We are becoming now, step by step, choice by choice, moment by moment. The fire inside us is not fragile, it is eternal. There will be days when doubt whispers louder than belief. Days when the world seems too heavy. But even then, we will remember. Strength is built in the quiet moments, in the choices no one sees, in the love we give without condition. We are not just surviving this life, we are creating it. We are shaping ourselves into who we were always meant to be. And that journey is worth every stumble, every pause, every rise. So, as we step forward from here, we carry not just words, but a new way of living. We carry proof that we can choose courage over comfort, love over fear, progress over perfection. Because the truth is, we already are everything we need to be. And starting now, we simply live as though we believe it.